We just wanted to start this live out with a prayer. Dear God, thank you so much for giving us the ability to make these videos and for giving us the resources that we need in order to eat whatever we want whenever we want. We pray that you can help those who are hungry and those in need get to a place of a full belly and just help them to live the best life that they can through you. Amen. Today, me and Zena are going to be meal prepping. Not my most favorite thing in the world, but Mr. Cameraman every once in a while goes on these like kicks, I guess you could call it, where he thinks that like certain food is unhealthy, certain food is healthy. So today we're meal prepping just for 3 days, which we bought enough food for like a month, but that's okay. So we have this chicken here that I got at Sam's Club, and Mr. Cameraman totally does not like it. But this right here is like, it was like a $14 package, and this is half of it. So I'm not throwing away $7 worth of chicken. So we are going to be, hopefully, trying to change the texture of it today. The reason he does not like it is he thinks that it is smushy. It's Sam's Club's pre-smoked chicken. So, to hopefully change the texture, what I'm going to be doing today is... Did I get it all? Yep. I'm going to be baking it. Hello, thank you to whoever's watching. Me and Zena are really glad that you're supporting our channel. So what we're doing right now is doing some meal prep. And this chicken is the chicken that Mr. Cameraman doesn't like the texture of. So what I'm doing is I'm kind of like breaking it apart. I kind of want to get it into an even layer. To be honest, it doesn't really look very good either if you look at it for a really long time. It's got a lot of dark meat in it, which normally we would not eat. And now, just to kind of turn it up a notch, we are going to add some seasoning. Because while it does have tons of smoke flavor, that's it. You don't get really anything else. So this is half of the package. This is a pound of chicken. And I'm going to convection bake to dry it out, or hopefully dry it out. And let's do convection bake 350. And then we're gonna get some seasoning. I've got this really fun elote seasoning that I got from Williams-Sonoma a while back. Oh, I thought I had an open one. Give me 1 second. Zena, did we eat all the other one? Did we eat it all? Okie dokie, I guess we ate it all. So this is actually, I think, hello, thank you to whoever's watching. Me and Zena just want to thank you for supporting our channel. Right now we are just working on some meal prep. So I've got a pound of pre-smoked chicken here that we got from Sam's Club. And to kind of change the texture so it's not quite as mushy, we're going to be convection baking it at 350. And to add some flavor, we're going to do 2 different seasonings. So on half of it, I'm going to do this Williams-Sonoma elote seasoning, which is really tasty. You should check this out. I have a video, actually. Me and Zena have a video of trying it out. I'm going to do, I think, 1.5 tablespoons, just so it's not like totally. I still do want to taste the smoke of that smoked chicken. So we did that on 1/2, and then I want to do spicy ranch on the other side. So I've got this Texas Texas Roadhouse rattlesnake bite seasoning, which is crazy, crazy good. Also, I think we have a couple videos on this, but we do have a short on this, really, really good. And then ranch powder. So I want it to be more ranchy than rattlesnake bitey. So we'll get a tablespoon of ranch. And then we'll do half a tablespoon I think that, so the whole point of meal prepping really, or I don't really think this, but the whole point that Mr. Cameraman wants me to meal prep is so we're eating like kind of the same things. So at least now they're going to be two different flavors. So now I'm just going to quickly give those a little bit of a mix just to get that seasoning incorporated. So on this side is the spicy ranch, and on that side is the elote. Now I'm going to be turning the chicken into wraps. Now I'm going to wash my hands really fast, and then I'm going to put those in the oven. The oven's not preheated yet, but like I said, I really want to dry out that chicken so that the texture is not so mushy. So I'm just going to, right now it's at 110, but it's preheating to 350. So I'm going to throw that in there. Hey Google, set a timer for 15 minutes.
Okay, 15 minutes.
So I'll check that in a little bit. But now I'm going to make a couple. So I'd say that's going to make probably a ridiculous amount. Really, that's probably enough to make like 6 wraps. Like I said, we're only meal prepping for 3 days. So we did buy too much food, but that's okay. Now I'm going to get some turkey. The Sam's Club, the best place that we like to buy turkey is Sam's Club and Costco. Just because turkey at a grocery store is so expensive. I mean, sometimes I pay like in between $9.99 and $10.99 a pound at a normal grocery store. But at Sam's Club and Costco, I mean, I can't remember. I think each one of these packages is like $7, and it's over a pound. So way, way, way better deal than your typical grocery store. Now I'm going to make a turkey sandwich. So let's get a little cutting board out here. And my favorite bread of all time, I think it's funny because Mr. Cameraman's like, no, we don't need those, but it's so good. Dave's Killer is expensive, but holy guacamole, it's about a bajillion times better than any other brand of bread I've ever had in my life. It is so good. So we got the 21 whole grains and seeds one. So right now I'm just going to make 2 sandwiches, because that's what's going to fit on my cutting board. Now the cheese, I've always got a lot of cheese. So we've got pepper jack slices, Colby jack slices, Velveeta slices. But we actually have this, the oldest one I have, the one that I really need to use up is this Tillamook. So I'm actually, I was really mad. I thought that I was buying white cheddar. Oh, it's moldy. What? Zena, when does it expire? Well, I'm not letting this whole thing go to waste just because of one tiny spot of mold. So I'm going to be cutting off the end because there's no mold on the rest of it. That's really weird. There's only one tiny little spot. And it is not that old. So I'm just going to cut off that end because cheese is freaking expensive. I mean, this is like, just what's sitting right here is like $5 worth of cheese, because the whole brick, I think, was like almost $10. So now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to take a couple slices, and I'm fine if they're kind of like thick. I'm kind of into that. So we'll get 1, 2. This is going to be a very sharp cheddar cheese forward sandwich, which I am totally fine with. Me and Zena just wanted to give a thanks again to whoever's watching. We're really glad that you want to support our channel. And if you do leave a chat, I'm really sorry. I still have not figured out how to view and respond to those while I'm in the middle of a live. But if you do want to leave a comment that you want us to respond to, because we do respond to every single one of our comments, you can come back to our channel after the live and you can leave your comment on the replay. And that way me and Zena for sure will see it and we 100% will respond to it. Okay, so we've got our nice and big slices of cheese. Now the rest of this cheese I need to use because obviously it's getting a little old. Not too old though. So, now we're going to get our turkey. Oh my gosh, those potatoes smell so good. Oh my gosh, I just called them potatoes. That smoked chicken smells so good. Hello, thanks to whoever just signed on watching. Me and Zena are so glad you're watching. Right now we are meal prepping. So we have some smoked chicken in the oven. It's got one side is spicy ranch and one side is elote seasoned. And right now we are making 2 turkey sandwiches that are very, very sharp cheddar cheese forward. Because who doesn't love a ton of really sharp cheddar cheese? So now we're going to get our turkey out. This turkey is from Sam's Club. It's a significantly better deal than at most grocery stores. So that's why we get it at Sam's Club. You can see this is the pepper one. This is one of our favorites. It has tons and tons of delicious flavor. And we are hungry guys, so I am going to pile these up pretty big, I think. I never do like the same turkey sandwich. I'm just not, I can't be that boring. So I always do some like weird, like this. I'm using that really, really, really sharp cheddar cheese. And yeah, so we're just gonna see what happens. Hopefully Mr. Cameraman likes all of these meals. Obviously, when you live with someone, when you have a significant other, I mean, for me, cooking is basically, I mean, I like to cook things that I eat when he's not around, but like when he's here, I'm basically, I mean, most things I'm cooking is to make him happy, is to like, I want him to like it. So I'm gonna do 8 slices of the pepper turkey on each one. I think that looks super beautiful. So let's get 8 more for the other one. I have found that in our family, 1/4 pound of turkey, no matter what kind, is basically, that's a pretty good size for each one of us. If it's in a wrap or if it's on a sandwich. Not really sure what the actual serving size is, but this, I mean, I'd say that this is pretty close to 1/4 pound. And that is good for us. And I'm not sure what he's going to want to eat for lunch today, since it's already 9, but I'm going to try to get all 3 days prepped before he gets home. Right now, he's on a 30-mile bike ride. And me and Zena went for a walk this morning. We don't go as hard as he does, though. My goal is really to walk with her every single morning, and the goal is to do at least a mile. So today we did almost 2 miles. We did like 1.8, and she walks the entire way. Okay, so we've got our extra super sharp cheddar cheese. We've got 8 slices. So I do want to look. So it says that the serving size is only 3 slices, which, I mean, if you ate 3 slices, that could be like a nice snack. I'm not sure if anyone would get full on 3 slices. But so we've got 8 slices. We've got tons of cheese on there. And let's see real fast in the fridge if there's anything funky I want to put on them. And I'm not seeing it. Oh, I guess I can put, I want to get rid of this. So this is another thing that I'm trying to do in this meal prep is, like I said, we bought too much food, but instead of using the new cheese, I'm using the old cheese and this micro cilantro or micro greens cilantro, which super exciting. So I don't know who's watching knows, but we live in Surprise, Arizona, and this company, Duncan Family Farms, is actually in Goodyear, Arizona. So I found that Sprouts Farmers Market has a whole bunch of their stuff, which I think is super, super cool. Because a lot of stuff at the grocery store, if you look at it really closely, even stuff like in the meat counter, is not from the United States. So when I saw that this stuff was from literally right down the 303, I was super happy and I was really glad that we got to try it. So it tastes pretty similar to normal cilantro, and we eat a lot of cilantro actually. It's one of the greens that Mr. Cameraman will eat. So I'm just going to put some of that on here. And then we are going to squirt on, or spread on to the last bun, a little bit of barbecue sauce. And I think that these sandwiches will be pretty good. I think that cilantro, basically I would eat cilantro on anything, but I think that cilantro really goes well with barbecue-y flavor, and cheddar cheese goes well with barbecue-y flavor. So I've got probably like, I don't know, maybe if you don't pack in it, maybe it's a full tablespoon of micro cilantro greens on each one. Maybe it's like half a tablespoon. Zena's over here just lounging away in her banana bed. We love this thing. We got it for her birthday. Okay, so it's fully preheated now, and I can already tell it's starting to dry out a little bit, so that is the goal. Now we're going to top these sandwiches off with Mr. Cameraman's favorite barbecue sauce. We do have a video on this too. I bought him like 20 or 30 bottles because they were on clearance, and this is his all-time favorite. It's from Williams-Sonoma Chipotle Black Pepper Barbecue Sauce. But obviously, if you're doing this, I'd recommend just using whatever barbecue sauce is your favorite or whatever barbecue sauce is your partner's favorite. But one thing I've learned is you really got to get this black stuff off, because if you like twist it, it like comes off and you can get little pieces of it in your food. So I try to take the whole thing off. Zena, what are you doing? What are you doing and stuff? And then we're just gonna drop a little bit of this. Those sandwiches look really good. I think I'm gonna put something crunchy on them too. We like crunchy, or at least I do. I hope Mr. Cameraman does. He's never told me he doesn't, I guess. So we're gonna put probably about a tablespoon of the barbecue, and then just spread that out. And this barbecue is pretty thin, so when you put it on wraps, it's different, because when a wrap is not going to soak it up, so it gets a little bit messy. But when you put this stuff on bread, the bread like just soaks it right in. So it's actually pretty nice, and I'm actually, just because that is a lot of cheese and turkey, I'm gonna put about another tablespoon on each one. I don't know if that's actually a tablespoon. Words are just coming out of my mouth. Just put on however much your family wants. Mr. Cameraman doesn't like soggy, but he does like a lot and lots of barbecue. So now for the crunchy factor, I am going to... what should I put on? Chili lime almonds, chili lime pumpkin seeds, sriracha almonds. We really like nuts. I like nuts because they're healthy. They're just like made by God and the world. I mean, obviously we add seasonings to them, but it's not like a chip that's a whole bunch of stuff all like blended together. So I've got my nut basket here. I've got literally every possible flavor that you can imagine. And I think we're going to do some of these sriracha almonds, which they really do not have very much flavor. They are not very sriracha-y. And then obviously, if we don't eat this one today, then it'll sit in the fridge. So with my experience doing this in the past, nuts, obviously, I just said I'm adding these to be a little crunchy. And they'll get, I wouldn't really call it soggy. The texture changes just a little bit after they've been in the fridge for a while, but they still remain, they still retain quite a bit of their crunch factor. So we are going to get rid of these, and I'm feeling crazy. So even though Mr. Cameraman does not like pumpkin seeds, he's telling me he wants to eat healthy, and according to these, they got 10 grams of protein per quarter of a cup. Obviously, we're not going to eat that many. And these are a chili lime flavor. I'm just going to put on 3/4 of a teaspoon. And it's kind of a heaping 3/4, so more like a teaspoon, but that's okay. So, I think that is done. I think that those look super crazy tasty. If you don't think those look super crazy tasty, I am sorry. Hey Google, stop the timer. Okay, so that was just our chicken. And it looks like the texture has most definitely changed. Let's pull it out. So it does look quite a bit drier. So I am going to actually cook it a little bit longer. Hey Google, set a timer for 10 minutes. Because, like I said, I'm cooking for Mr. Cameraman. I love him to death. These meals are for him. So I want to make sure that he would eat them. And I really want to make sure that the texture of that chicken is not a problem. So I am going to go ahead and cook them for 10 more minutes. And then we're going to pop the lids on our turkey sandwiches that look absolutely freaking amazing. I mean, how can you look at that and not say it looks crazy delicious? So it's 8 slices of the Sam's Club pepper turkey and 3 really thick slices of extra super sharp cheddar cheese, a little bit of micro cilantro, 3/4 of a teaspoon of these chili lime pop roasted pumpkin seeds, and 10 sriracha almonds on each one, with about 2 tablespoons of this chipotle barbecue sauce on each one. So now that we have that, I'm going to attempt to jam these things in here, which is slightly doubtful, but I'm gonna try. And he likes cut in half sandwiches, so let's be fancy and cut them on a bias. Or is that what it's called if it's a sandwich too? Or do I just say on an angle? Maybe I'm trying to be too fancy for my own good. So we're gonna slice those. Let's look at the cross section. Woohoo! That looks delicious. And I might have to wrap these in plastic wrap because there is no way they're going to fit in those little squares. So, hopefully, I try not to buy plastic wrap because I try not to use plastic wrap, but obviously sometimes there's not very many alternatives. So hopefully I do not run out. Well, let's pick this up. Try not to lose any more cheese. Ooh, that cheese is freaking delicious. I want to get reusable plastic wrap sometime, but I don't know. I just try not to use it. Like I said, sometimes there's not many other ways you can preserve a sandwich or an item that wouldn't fit in your fridge in a big container, or you don't have a Tupperware that size. Let me know in the comments down below if you guys like crazy food. Like this, I would consider pretty crazy. I mean, there's a lot of flavors going on in that sandwich. Or would you rather just have plain oven roasted turkey, a slice of American cheese, and that's it? Or do you like all these other flavors like barbecue sauce, cilantro, fancy cheese? I'd be kind of interested to know if you guys like all that other stuff. Well, and now that they're in the plastic, I'm going to try one more time just to see if I could. I mean, I could, but it would do integral harm to the structure of the sandwich. So, I'm just going to put these in the fridge. So right now, I have 2 turkey sandwiches done. So, let's see what we're going to eat on the side with these turkey sandwiches. What to eat, what to eat, what to eat, what to eat. I think we're going to go with some Go-Go Squeeze. We really like Go-Go Squeeze just because I love the convenience of the packages. I mean, I would much rather eat this than a cup of applesauce. So, we're going to go with some Go-Go Squeeze and some raspberries. And maybe some nuts too. So, we've got raspberries, and now these I can put in the containers. So, one for him, one for me. We'll do a Go-Go Squeeze in each one, just the regular apple flavor. And then I'm going to go ahead and wash our raspberries. Because even if the package says that my fruit has been washed, I always wash fruit. Like again. Me and Zena just want to thank again anyone who has watched part or is watching part or watched this video. That we really appreciate the support. We actually got some advice from another YouTube personality that we should try out more lives. So that is what we've been doing. And then I'm kind of trying out a schedule for my posting. So on the daily, 6:15 a.m., 12:15 p.m., and 6:15 p.m., those are when shorts, I'm not saying that a short is going to be posted at that time every single day, but lately it has been. So those are the times I want to post shorts. And then for long forms, 7 a.m., 1 p.m., and 7 p.m. So that is the goal for our schedule on YouTube. And so far I have been posting that many videos. So if you're always looking for something different, always looking for new content, then our channel may be the right one for you to subscribe to. Me and Zena would really appreciate that. So, for our first meal prepped meal, I think we're done. We've got those 2 turkey sandwiches, and then we've got raspberries and a Go-Go Squeeze. So I'm going to get lids for those 2. A long time ago, we were into meal prepping, and me and Mr. Cameraman's mom went to Walmart and bought these containers. I don't even know what brand. Oh, they're Rubbermaid. We literally bought every single one that they had in all the colors because we were all into meal prepping. And then meal prepping kind of fell off the face of the earth for us, but every once in a while I use these containers. So we've got one day done. Turkey sandwiches with fruit on the side. Now, let me kind of clean up this little area. I'm just going to get another cutting board. For the second meal of that day, we are going to be doing smoked chicken wraps. So, this is what happens when you're doing a whole bunch of stuff in the kitchen. You lose stuff, like where I put the cap to the barbecue. So I'm just gonna set this in the refrigeradora. Oh, I found it. It was on the cutting board. On the cutting board. And with our smoked chicken wraps, I want to do a veggie. So green beans it is. Mr. Cameraman's all-time favorite way of me cooking green beans is in the air fryer. The texture that they get is just really appealing. So let's move this junk over here. Move that junk over there. Move that junk over there. Of course, Xena gets to stay wherever she wants to be. We're gonna pop that right there. And then every time I air fry green beans, I do a different seasoning. Like I said, I can't do boring. It's not in my vocabulary. So I always do some like random funky seasoning blend. So let me put this turkey in the fridge so it doesn't go bad. And today on the green beans, hey Google, stop the timer. Okay, so our barbecue chicken that we got at Sam's Club, the one that had a not very pleasant texture. Hello to whoever just signed on watching. Me and Xena are really grateful that you're supporting our channel. Right now we're doing some meal prep, and I have some pre-smoked chicken here that I got at Sam's Club, and the texture was just a little bit off, so I went ahead and baked it for 25 minutes on convection at 350 today, just to kind of get rid of the really smushy, mushy texture. And half of it is spicy ranch, and half of it is elote seasoning. So right now I'm just gonna let that cool just a little bit so that we can wrap it up into wraps. We are going to make, hello, oh my gosh, Brian! I just saw your chat is right there. I just don't know how to respond to it. Ah! That is the coolest thing ever, though. That's the first time I've seen like a chat pop up. So thank you so much for watching. I just want to show you really fast. The first meal that we prepped was, we got these really big, juicy turkey sandwiches with go-go squeeze applesauce and raspberries. And now our second meal is going to be smoked chicken wraps with air fryer green beans. So right now, I am just deciding how I want to season up the green beans. So let's go ahead and slice it open. Do you have any suggestions, Brian, for how I should season the green beans? If you do, just drop it in that chat thing and it might pop up again. Okay, so that is a pound of fresh green beans. Salt and pepper. Well, I don't have salt, but I have pepper. So I can definitely do a peppered green bean situation. Let's give those a quick washy wash. Like I said, even if it says it's washed, I always wash all my fruits and veg. And then we'll get a big bowl to throw them in. Well, I hope you're having a good day today, Brian. And then we're just going to do super simple today. We're taking Brian's advice and we're doing a salt and pepper. I don't have salt, so we're just doing pepper. So I'm going to just drizzle them with olive oil. And then sprinkle on some black pepper. That'll be a nice kind of simple flavor to go on the side of our funky flavored smoked chicken. So let's get a pair of tongs and kind of stir these up a little bit. You don't want one green bean that is totally coated in black pepper and then get more down in the bottom that don't have any black pepper on them. And those look pretty well combined. So now we're just going to grab our air fryer basket, dump all that goodness in there. And now you can literally probably do these at any temperature, but me and Zena like to go for 400. And then when I'm doing green beans, I just turn it all the way up to the longest timer that your air fryer will go. Start it, and then every once in a while I just shake it up. And normally I cook them for in between 20 and 30 minutes. So we're starting that on 30 minutes. Now we can build our wraps. Our chicken has actually cooled down pretty fast. This chicken looks really good after I baked it and after I added that seasoning. The texture looks like it has improved quite a bit. And the flavor is really good. This is the elote seasoned side. So let's get our tortillas. In another cutting board. And these are pretty small tortillas, so I think I'm gonna do 2 for each of us. No, we're having a lot of green beans, so let's see what 1 for each of us looks like. And for these, I want to use, I'm pretty sure, I just tasted it. Let's taste this one and see, just to make sure I'm right. Oh yeah, this side is spicy ranch. This side is elote. Now, Brian, if you're still watching, if your parents have a Sam's Club membership, you guys have to go get this stuff and try it out. I have a separate video on it. It is so good. Especially when you mix it with ranch powder. It is like life-changingly delicious. So, let's get our elote seasoned one. Yeah, so I'm going to be able to fit about 1/8 of a pound on each one. So this whole pan's a pound. So the elote is 1/2 of a pound. So yeah, that is barely any chicken. Not enough to fill us up. So I'm definitely going to make 2 for each of us. So let's get 2 more tortillas. Like I said, this wasn't our favorite texture, but I can't just throw away this much money worth of chicken. So to make it work, I thank you to whoever is watching. We really appreciate it that you're supporting our channel. Right now, me and Zena are just prepping some meal prep for 3 days. So far, we've got turkey sandwiches, and right now we are making smoked chicken wraps or smoked chicken burritos, whatever you want to call them. So right now, these are like little mini round tortillas. Each one has 1/8 of a pound of chicken on it. And this is smoked chicken with elote seasoning. This stuff, we have a separate video on this also. Definitely go check it out. I did learn that if you want to search for a specific video, you can go to our channel's homepage and then you can go all the way over, like where it says videos, playlists, live, go all the way over, and then there's a search thing, and you can click on that and it just searches our channel. So you could do that. You could just go there and then search elote, and this seasoning blend video would show up for you, I believe. So now on these ones, I want to do some shredded cheese. So to kind of add into that spicy elote flavor, we are going to do some shredded pepper jack cheese. So I'm just going to sprinkle a little bit onto each one. We're also in the process, on the side of this meal, we're going to have some air fryer green beans. One of my friends was watching earlier, and he recommended that I just use salt and pepper. I didn't have salt, just have pepper, so we're just doing a simple olive oil, black pepper, air fried green bean on the side of these elote smoked chicken wrap burritos, whatever you want to call it. So we're going to do about a tablespoon of pepper jack on each one. And then just to kind of play into that Mexican-y elote flavor profile, I don't want to just do barbecue sauce. So what I think I'm going to do is we have kind of this basic mild Kinder's barbecue sauce that we got at Costco. And into that I'm going to mix some sriracha. So I've got some Tabasco brand sriracha here. Also have a video of trying every single Tabasco product that I could get my hands on. That was quite the video. So for these, you're not going to need a ton of sauce. You don't want them to be super saucy. And like I said earlier, tortillas are not going to soak up sauce as much as bread would. So if you put a whole bunch of sauce in them and you go to bite into it, it's going to be pretty messy. So that's probably, I don't know, about 1/8 of a cup of mild barbecue sauce. And then I'm just going to squirt in. Hello! Brian just said hi to everyone if anyone else is watching. So let's go ahead and add a little bit. That's probably like half a teaspoon. Brian, you got to tell all of our friends from One Step Beyond to jump on here and watch, man. We'll just give that a quick little mix. So I basically just made sriracha barbecue. That's a super simple way that you can kind of turn barbecue sauce up a notch. It's kind of fun. Every once in a while I just add some random ingredients to my barbecue. And like I said, it just kind of turns a store-bought regular sauce, or a couple of store-bought sauces, into something a little bit more fun, a little bit more exciting. And then I have a feeling that these might not hold shut perfectly, so I might use toothpicks to hold them together. First, I want to see if I can at least roll them up a little bit. When you're making wraps, if you're like me, your eyes are always bigger than what the actual tortilla is. And then, like I said earlier, I'm trying to use up this micro cilantro. So I'm just going to sprinkle a little bit, not as much. I know Mr. Cameraman will eat it, but when it's in such a small thing as a wrap and there's not a whole bunch of other stuff to kind of mix into it, he does not like as much. Now, in a big sandwich, there's lots of bread, tons of cheese. That kind of mixes in pretty well. But on these, I mean, if you packed this in, it's probably like half of a teaspoon. If you didn't pack your measuring device, it's probably about a teaspoon. So that is our little Mexican-style smoked chicken wrap. We got some sriracha barbecue, some micro cilantro greens, pepper jack, elote smoked chicken. I think those look pretty tasty. I also do He really doesn't like corn though, but I would love to go ahead and put in some of my freeze-dried corn, but I think I am going to not, just because he really does not like corn very much. But if you're making these at home, I think that this freeze-dried corn, it's crispy and sweet and delicious. I think that that would be super fun inside of these wraps. And it kind of just adds another piece, another fun ingredient to kind of get your brain twirling around. So now, let's attempt to wrap these up. And I'm going to get our containers ready so that once it's wrapped, I can kind of plop it. Oh, look how freaking cute that looks. It's like a little mini smoked chicken burrito. Bye, Brian. Hopefully Brian has a good rest of his day. Those are actually pretty darn cute. I am really happy with how that turned out. Now these ones look like they got a little bit more chicken, but they still wrapped up nicely. Each one, hello whoever is watching. If that is Brian again, welcome back, Brian. If it's anyone else, we are so glad that you're here supporting me and Zena's channel. Right now we are just meal prepping. So I just got our mini Mexican chicken burritos rolled up. So these are elote smoked chicken with cilantro, pepper jack cheese, sriracha barbecue. They look super cute, super tasty. So now for the side are, oh my gosh, they already look so good. Our black pepper, olive oil, green beans are starting to get roasty toasty. I want to take one out just so I can taste it. We like for our green beans, we do not like cans. I know, don't they look good, Brian? It's because you told me to put pepper on them. Ooh, so simple, so delicious. We love green beans. We love pepper. I think that that is going to be a super fun addition on the side of our burritos here. And we're also going to have harvest snaps, which if you have never had them, and we have another video of when we bought these. I'm sure Brian's watched that one. He watches all of our videos. But we're gonna do some harvest snaps. I got these, this whole bag was only $2 and it has 6 bags inside of it. So we're gonna do one of these on the side of each one. I've got sour cream and onion crunchy loops. I think we're gonna do the tomato basil. That sounds good. I haven't had those in a really long time. We're gonna do just the regular tomato basil harvest snaps. So, Brian, do you ever meal prep at home? Or do you just make like one meal at a time? Those are the harvest snaps we're gonna be doing. So I'll, oh, what are you doing? What the heck is going on over here? Are you trying to say hi to Brian? Oh, Brian is back. He just said hi. He came back. I'll give you guys a better view of Xena. So, this meal is pretty much done once the green beans are done. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to attempt to put the lid on with these harvest snaps on top of the burrito. Not sure if that will work very well. And it closes! These little containers are great for like taking stuff to lunch at work. The only thing you have to remember is they're tiny. So like if you do a salad or anything that needs to be mixed, there's like no safe, clean way to mix in these containers. Nearly impossible. So we've got one day done. We've got the turkey sandwiches with the fruit, and then we've got the mini Mexican burritos. So that is an entire day. We've only got 2 more days to go. So we need to do something with the rest of our smoked chicken. So we've got our spicy ranch smoked chicken here, and I think that we are going to be eating that maybe over some, oh shoot, I thought that I had rice. I told Mr. Cameraman I had rice, but it appears that we ate it all. He's not going to be happy. Well, I think I don't want to do 2 smoked chicken burritos. I think that would be boring. So, it looks like I'm going to be making them. Brian, I've got a question. Oh, he just got off. Really? Zena, I was just going to ask him a question. What the hey? So, if you've watched any of our other lives before, or if you watch the reruns of our lives, this is a pretty cool one because I'm actually having a conversation with a viewer, a really nice subscriber, and this is the first time that I've ever been living, and the chats like pop up on the screen. I don't know how to respond to it in the chat, but it's fun to be able to actually talk to someone like while you're going through a live. It's actually really exciting. So, for this smoked chicken, the spicy ranch, I am just going to turn them into sandwiches. So, I don't want the same cheese as the turkey sandwiches though. I want to use some of these cheeses too, so I can get these used up also. So I've got Colby Jack here. What's your guys' favorite kind of cheese? I love all cheese, except for blue cheese. Other than that, I think every other cheese on earth is delicious. I think. I haven't had all of them, so. Make some quesadillas. Oh, Brian, that is a good idea. Do you think I should do that? Well, it says he's not watching, but he just chatted. That's interesting. I don't know what's going on here. So, I think he's right. We are not making spicy ranch smoked chicken sandwiches. We will be making spicy ranch smoked chicken quesadilla. I think that that is a much more fun idea, Brian. Thank you so much for the advice. So, I used to have an actual quesadilla maker, but I don't believe that I have it anymore. Or, Brian, okay, so smoked chicken, smoked spicy ranch chicken quesadilla, or I can make smoked spicy chicken, like, sandwich melt. So I can either do a sandwich melt or a quesadilla. Like a sandwich melt is like crispy bread, melty, gooey cheese and chicken. So would you rather have, what do you think would be better? The crispy sandwich or the quesadilla? Zena, now we just wait for a response. He says, I'm still on. What's your question? What do you think would be better? Spicy chicken crispy sandwich melt or a spicy chicken quesadilla? There's the delicious green beans. While you think about that, I'm going to put away the green beans and the sriracha and the barbecue. And we just want to thank you again, Brian. I think that there might be some issues with my end. It keeps telling me that nobody's watching, but he just assured us again that he is still on, so we are very appreciative of that. And we are going to go with the first idea, quesadilla. That sounds fun. I haven't made a quesadilla in a hot minute. So, we are going to get out our big pan. And drop a little bit of olive oil. Turn it on. And this is going to be, pretty straightforward. It's just going to be tortilla, chicken, cheese. And again, this is the spicy ranch flavor of smoked chicken. And we're going to be doing, I have these Velveeta slices, and I have, wherever I put them, Colby Jack slices. So it's going to be like a Colby Jack American quesadilla. So get that oil spread around. And then we are going to pile on our chicken. I like kind of thick quesadillas. So this is a pound of meat right here. So I think I'm going to do, unlike the mini Mexican burritos, where I did 1/8 of a pound, I think I'm going to do 1/4 of a pound. But don't be like me. Be smart. Think through what you're doing. Before you put chicken in the quesadilla, you want to have cheese so that the chicken has something to stick to. So there's 2 slices of Colby Jack and a Velveeta slice on the bottom. Okay, so now I'm gonna do the 1/4 of a pound of this spicy ranch smoked chicken. Mr. Cameraman is gonna be like, whoa, we didn't talk about quesadillas, but they're delicious. Very similar to a wrap anyways. So now that I've got that down, I'm going to do another slice, so if I'm making them the same, I'm going to need 2 more for mine. So, to make our quesadillas equal, on the top of the meat, I'm going to do 1 slice of Colby Jack and 2 slices of the American. So in total, it's 3 slices of each cheese on our quesadillas here. I'd be interested to know if you guys prefer these live videos and then possibly watching a replay. Okay, so he just told me a spicy chicken quesadilla. So clearly, in the chat, there is a little bit of a late. I don't know what you would call that. Let's look at our green beans. I think that they are pretty perfect. Holy cow, those look delicious. Just Mr. Cameraman's style. So, I don't want to put them in the containers just yet, just because they are still crazy super hot. So let's just put them in a bowl for right now so that they can cool a little. Come on, little green bean. Okay, so now we are just going to let those cool a little bit, and then we'll add them to the mini Mexican burrito meal that is already in the fridge. Right now, this quesadilla is starting to get all roasty and toasty on that bottom tortilla. I've got it about on like a medium high heat. Now I don't think I totally agree with you, Brian, but the only ranch I have is this wasabi ranch, and TBH, I think Mr. Cameraman would kill me if I put ranch in his quesadilla. He hates ranch. So maybe when I eat it, I'll dip it in some ranch, but I do not think that he would like that actually in the quesadilla. So now I have one day done. This is lunch for another day. So now I need a supper item. Let's do... I'm really bummed that I actually don't have rice. I have one package of this rice, but TBH, we didn't really like it. It's like super dry when you cook it, so we weren't a huge fan. Obviously, I do need to eat it up eventually, though. So possibly, I could do this and like mix it with a sauce to make it not dry. I do have 2 Kevin's chickens here. I have a barbecue and a cilantro lime, which I think cilantro lime sounds like it might be good with turmeric. So, good girl. I'll move all this junk so you can lay down properly. So what I'm gonna do is kind of just mix, or I can still just serve this on top of the rice. So let's go ahead. I'm obviously gonna microwave these again when we eat them, but let's at least microwave this rice, I think. 90 seconds. So since I'm gonna cook it again, we'll do a little bit shorter. And then that is smelling roasty and toasty, so let's try to flip this over without making a disaster. If it's a disaster, it's Brian's fault. He's the one that told me to make a quesadilla. Ooh, that looks about freaking perfect. That looks so crazy tasty. And then I've got a cutting board right here to put them on once they're done. Do any of you guys meal prep like this? Or do you have more of a solid plan? Because I'm just literally like doing whatever right now. Those green beans are really, really good. So now that the green beans are done and they're cool enough, before we get too involved in anything else, I want to get them into their containers. This is already smelling crispy on the bottom. So, we're gonna add a little bit more oil because those 2 tortillas appear to have sucked up all of it. And then turn it down a little bit. It does seem pretty hot. Now it's on like low. And then I will just build the second quesadilla. Drop in the tortilla. On the bottom, we're building this exactly the same as Mr. Cameraman's tortilla. So we are going to, as his quesadilla. So 2 slices of Colby Jack on the bottom. And 1 slice of the Velveeta. This is not American cheese. This is a Velveeta slice. Then comes the rest of this chicken, which is 1/4 pound of the spicy ranch chicken. And then again, this chicken I got from Sam's Club, pre-smoked. It has kind of a super mushy, it's not kind of, it is, super, super mushy texture. So I did bake it for 25 minutes on convection bake at 350 today to eradicate that texture. It's pretty off-putting, if you ask my significant other. So now, 1 slice of Colby Jack. 2 slices of American. And then we're going to top it with that tortilla. And since it was so hot, I think it might actually be already ready to flip. So let's give it a flip. Don't want to burn it because since I'm trying to use up old ingredients, I don't have a ton of other ingredients I could use. Part of my chicken escaped. And that is already looking toasty, so I'm going to give that second side just a little bit. And now we are going to shove our green beans in here. These harvest snaps are so delicious. You definitely have to check them out sometime. Let's get our green beans. Holy guacamole! Woo! The green beans are cool, but the pan is, the bowl is like on fire. I am not quite sure what's going on there, but the pan is, the bowl that they're in is about 2 million degrees. Yes, Brian. Is that what you're doing right now? You're on lunch and you're watching. Do you still stay at home on Mondays, or are you at program right now? Lives for me and Xena are really, really fun because we can just jump on here and start cooking. We don't really have to plan them out like super far in advance. But we're glad that we came on during your lunch break so that you can hang out with us and see what we're doing. So now that I've got the green beans in the mini Mexican burrito container, I'm going to put these chips on top just so I can keep the meals all together. And then we'll get this one. And I'm smelling the quesadilla. It is ready to come off, but first, oh, okay, Luke, use your brain a little bit. I forgot to put the chips on there. So now we can put these back into the refrigerator. Take this quesadilla out of the skillet. And now I've got this rice as microwaved as I'm going to cook it today, since we will be cooking these once we eat them. And now I'm going to make this Kevin's Natural Foods Paleo Cilantro Lime Chicken. I'm going to be cooking this up. So it says on the stovetop, add 1 tablespoon of oil and heat for 1 to 2 minutes on each side of the chicken. Okay, so pretty simple. We're just gonna throw it all in there. Let's get this thing opened up. I'm going to get some paper towels just to wipe out the old stuff. I think I might have heard the garage door just open. Mr. Cameraman might be home. Throw in some oil. Now we are going to break up our chicken. If you've never had this Kevin's chicken before, you definitely got to try it out. It is super, super, super delicious. And they have a bunch of really fun flavors. I recently just made, it's going to get posted in a couple of days, I made Thai coconut chicken mac and cheese protein pasta. It was so good. I think that they recommend that you take the broth out, but I don't like to. It's basically chicken broth. Adds a lot of flavor. So I got these broken up. And then we're just going to let that cook for a little bit. Like I said, we're going to microwave these for when we actually eat them. So that will do a lot of the cooking process. And this is already pre-cooked. So we're just going to heat that up for a little bit. And then we are going to add our sauce. And then we're just going to dump it into our containers over the rice. And this is Maya Kemal turmeric and cumin rice. Now this brand does make some really delicious food. The rice is not my favorite, but they do have a tomato paprika marinade. I believe that video either was just posted or it's going to be posted in the next couple days, but you should definitely try to find that stuff because it is really good. Right now I'm just going to take our rice and divide it between the two biggest containers. Thank you, Brian. I'm going to keep doing this one. I'm going to do it until I'm done meal prepping, and then I hopefully will keep doing lives in the future. The rice does smell really good. Okay, so I've got the rice divided between our two containers. Now the chicken's been going for a little bit, so we are going to add in the sauce. Really, there's no point, I don't really think, in cooking this before, since, like I said a million times, we're going to be microwaving these meals, but we're doing it just to do it. Okay, so we've got our cilantro sauce in there. Now for the side on this one, I'm going to give that just a little bit. I want to kind of reduce that a little bit. So we'll turn it up to like a medium. And then for the side on this one, we want to do something else that's super delicious. So let's do some cantaloupe. I recently made a short on the proper way to eat a cantaloupe. Today we are not going to be doing the proper way because that requires eating with a spoon. But today we will just chop it up and put it into our containers. So I've got a half of a cantaloupe here. I think I'm just going to try to get out a quarter of it. See, like this is what I use plastic wrap for, like wrapping up half of a cantaloupe. I mean, I don't have a Tupperware container that would fit this big thing, but I am going to try to salvage the plastic wrap for the quarter that I'm going to leave in now, just in case we want to break our meal prep, which I probably will halfway through. Okay, I rescued a quarter of our cantaloupe. Now I'm going to wrap back up the other quarter. See, look at that. Didn't even need new plastic wrap. Give this a little bit of a stir. And hopefully all of this liquid that's in this Kevin's chicken will kind of liven up that dry rice. But, I mean, cilantro lime, that sounds like it will go well with turmeric flavor, so I'm happy with that combination. Let's get this cantaloupe cut up. And like I said, normally I would not peel a cantaloupe. I would just eat with a spoon. I would just eat all the flesh right out of it. But since I'm going to be chopping this up for a meal prep and trying to fit it into my little containers there, I will peel it. Woo! Try not to drop any on the floor. Xena loves cantaloupe, BT dubs. Do you guys like cantaloupe? Honestly, I don't know if Mr. Cameraman has ever eaten it before. So hopefully he likes it. He does like certain fruits. He really likes raspberries, strawberries, blueberries, blackberries. But like I said, since I've known him, since I've been with him for the last almost 6 years, I've never seen him eat a cantaloupe. But the only person I've ever met who doesn't like cantaloupe is my mom, because she's allergic to it. So I can't imagine that someone would not like cantaloupe. So let's kind of give it a slicey slice. And I'm doubting myself, but I'm going to try to fit this quarter into our container. So I'll move that off to the side. So this is 1/8 of the cantaloupe. Now, if you want to be fancy, you can try to get uniform cuts. But, I mean, we're just going to be shoving this in our face. So not a huge reason to make it look real extra fancy. So I'm just going to do a rough cube or a rough dice. I guess you could, I can't remember if a dice is even or if a chop is even, because this is not even. So whatever one is not even, that's what you're doing here with this cantaloupe. And look at that, it's all gonna fit. And I think that, so normally if I was eating a cantaloupe, I eat half of it at a time, and then I just eat like that half. So eating 1/8 of a cantaloupe each person, I mean, that's a pretty doable amount of cantaloupe for me. So that is how we're going to leave it. So let's dice or chop or whatever you want to call it up this one. Brian, he's watching. He is a culinary guy, so he better know which term I'm supposed to be using. Brian, am I supposed to be saying chop or dice if I'm doing uneven large cubes of cantaloupe? He's like, I don't know. We're also camping this weekend, so we're going up to Prescott. So I was actually going to meal prep for longer, but I'm not really sure if I want to take a bunch of these containers. I don't know how well that these containers would fit in our camper's mini fridge, so I don't think I'm going to do that. This chicken has been cooking for a while, and we are going to go ahead and add it to our containers. You can see all that juice in there because I left in the broth. I like that because I'm hoping that the rice will soak that up, because like I said, we've cooked this rice before and we weren't a super huge fan of the texture and the dryness. So I'm hoping that all of the juice from this will change that texture. I think that looks like a pretty good meal. Some cilantro lime chicken with turmeric rice and cantaloupe. So now, you guessed it, I'm trying to use up all my old food, so we're adding some micro cilantro greens to the top of our cilantro chicken. Again, super cool. I got these at Sprouts Farmers Market, Duncan Family Farms. They are out of Goodyear, Arizona. And here I am using their stuff in my kitchen in Surprise, Arizona. How cool is that? So we are just going to top our cilantro chicken with the micro cilantro. And we are using up the rest of this. So honestly, I mean, this container was like $4.20 or $4.50. At first, I thought that, I don't know, it seems like kind of a lot, but I used it. This is the fourth meal because I've used it before today. So this is the fourth or fifth meal I've used it in, and I just finished that container. So, I mean, honestly, I'm kind of happy with that. So now we're gonna put 2 more lids on those because they are Dundee. So this is our cilantro lime turmeric chicken, or cilantro lime chicken with turmeric rice, whatever you want to call it. So let's pop those in the fridge. And now I need to package up our quesadillas and come up with a side for the quesadilla meal. So let's put these in the refrigerator. Do you guys call it a fridge or a refrigerator? I like to call it a refrigerator for some reason. And again, I'm not sure if our little containers here will fit our quesadilla. Actually, I know they will not. So I think I'm going to wrap them up in plastic wrap. Who knows? Maybe I'll use the rest of my roll today, and then I won't buy any for a while. So first, let's give these a little slice with the pizza cutter. And these are the spicy ranch smoked chicken quesadillas. They have Velveeta cheese and Colby Jack cheese. I think that's good. Just in half. I think that would be easy to pick up and eat. So now maybe, to save room in the refrigerator. Oh, look at that cross section. Doesn't that look good? Let us wrap that up in the plastic wrap. Where did I put it, Xena? Xena, where did I put the plastic wrap? There's Xena chilling in her banana bed. Look at how cute she is. Cutest dog on earth. No denying it. Okay, you guys. I lost the freaking plastic wrap. Oh, I put it in my spoon drawer. Okay, so now, obviously that is still hot. So let's just try to carefully wrap these babes up. They smell really good. Brian, it was a great idea to turn these into a quesadilla. Very, very, very good idea. We are very grateful that you are watching and giving us some ideas on how to prep our food. Okay, so now, who knows? Now that it's in this shape, let's see if it would fit in our container. It's doubtful. Nope, not happening. So those containers are nice if you have like meals that consist of really small pieces, or if it's like a soup or a salad. But for larger items, like a sandwich or a quesadilla in this case, not the best. So let's get this last one wrapped up. And then I have literally no idea what we're going to do for a side for this one. What goes with a spicy ranch quesadilla? Let's pop these. Chop. Okay, so Brian, the culinary genius, has told me I'm supposed to be using the term chop. So when it's uneven big cubes, it is chop. Okay, so I've got our spicy ranch quesadillas. And for the side of the quesadilla, I don't know. Xena, what should we have on the side with the quesadilla? What should we have on the side with the quesadilla? I don't know. So we're going to move on to the next meal, which is loaded baked potato soup. Sopa de papas. This stuff is really good. This came from Sam's Club. Super easy. This feeds both of us pretty well. So I'm literally just going to open it up and dump it into our containers. And then I got to figure out a side for this one too. So I've got applesauce, obviously. I've got a papaya. I just don't really, papaya and quesadilla and papaya and soup don't really sound super, super tasty together. Soup and salad would be killer, but I would get killed if I made a salad and told Mr. Cameraman to eat it. So first, let's just get these into our containers. I think some protein chips on the side of this soup would go really well. This soup is really, really delicious. We actually just bought, it's funny, so we already had this one, but we bought another container just to meal prep. It's like, how many meals do you think we're gonna make at a time? We don't got enough room for all of these prepped containers. So, to kind of jazz that up a little bit, I'm going to sprinkle on some cheese. We're gonna do some low moisture mozzarella. I don't know about you guys, but I hate the smell of mozzarella. It tastes delicious, but every time I smell it, I think it's like gone bad, but it hasn't. It just has a really, to me, off-putting smell. I don't know if anybody else out there is like that. Maybe I am just a total, complete weirdo, which I know I am, so that's probably the truth right there. So we just sprinkled on, I don't know how much mozzarella, but I use low moisture mozzarella most of the time. Don't ask why. I really have no idea. And then we're just going to sprinkle on a little bit of Parm cheese. The cheese is going to add a little bit more protein to that not super nutritious soup. Let's get that put away. And then, like I said, I want to do protein chips. So I've got these right here, these sea salt and lime tortilla chips. And each 3 grams of protein for every 10 chips. I have these, which I really like, but I only have one package of them. Call Marley in refrigerator. Brian, I don't know what that means. Who is Marley? And I don't really want to take these out and then put them in the fridge. So I think for right now, we will, I think we'll definitely eat those. I call mine a refrigerator. Yeah, so do I. I say refrigerator most of the time. So I think for right now, since I don't want to open up those packages, I'm just going to seal this and put it in the fridge. And then we'll be eating the protein chicken chips and the cilantro lime tortilla protein chickpea chips with our soup. So right now, I've got mini Mexican burritos, cilantro lime chicken. That's one day. Then I've got turkey sandwiches with fruit and potato soup with protein chips. That's the second day. Then I have one entree of the third day, which is my spicy ranch quesadilla. So I need a side for the quesadillas, and I need one more meal. One more like entire meal. So I think I really would like rice on the side of my quesadilla, but we don't have a rice. Let me check one more time. I think that package I used was the only one, sadly. let's do these on the side of the quesadilla. These are chickpea granola bites, gentle pecan, less sugar, plant protein, gut wellness. We've never actually eaten these. I got these on clearance at Sprouts Farmers Market quite a while ago. Oh, it's like a big bag. Interesting. Well, granola bites, I thought they were like big chunks. Well, that would be weird just to eat like crushed up granola on the side of a quesadilla, unless I had like yogurt to go with it, which I don't have. So, that's out the question. So on the side of a quesadilla, what should we eat on the side of the quesadilla? What should we eat on the side of the quesadilla? I am totally brain farting. So, on the side of the quesadilla, we are going to do crunchy granola bars and fruit snacks because my brain is not functioning properly. So, just to make them look meal preppy, we'll put the granola bars, we'll put the fruit snacks, and then we'll do some mixed up kind of nuts. So in here, in this container, I have already raw macadamia nuts, raw cashews, and raw peanuts. So in here, I will just kind of, we can make this Mexican-y to go with the quesadilla. So, I've got these chili and cheese flavored peanuts. And I've got some chili lime almonds, which are some of the best almonds I've ever had. Super crazy delicious. Brian, you definitely have to check them out. I think I got these at Costco. When I got them, they were like $4 off. And not Mexican-y, but they're spicy. We'll do some of these crunchy Cajun peanuts. I got these on clearance at Sprouts Farmers Market. We'll give this a good mixy mix. That looks pretty tasty if you ask me. I mean, I would be happy to eat this anytime, not just on the side of a quesadilla. Hello, thank you to whoever just signed on. Me and Zena are really, really happy and glad and blessed that you are checking out our YouTube channel. Right now, we are just meal prepping some meals. So what we just finished up was kind of a little snackootery tray that we're going to eat with our spicy ranch quesadillas. So we have a mix of spicy nuts, some fruit snacks, and some Nature Valley crunchy oats and honey granola bars. So, I know they don't need to be refrigerated, but we're going to put them in the fridge just so they're with the rest of our meal prepped food. So this goes with the spicy ranch quesadillas. So now we just need one more meal, one more entree and side. Or wait, am I mindful? Let me check. So 1 day, 2 day. Nope, we need one more meal. Zena, what should the last meal be? I think it should be possibly another turkey sandwich. Turkey is something that you need to eat up pretty fast when you buy it. It does go bad quickly. And I already have the bread out. But I'm going to make it fun. It's not going to be a turkey sandwich. It's going to be a turkey melt. So, we're going to get back out our... I want to use this whole container up. Or no, I do want to use it up, but at the same time, I don't like to eat the same flavors. So we're going to get this oven roasted turkey, also from Sam's Club. And we are going to need a Dash Mini appliance to accomplish this meal. It is the mini, oh my gosh, what's it called, Zena? The mini pocket sandwich maker, I believe. Ow! Holy guacamole! I just lifted up my head under an open cabinet door. So it like hit the corner of the cabinet. That hurt. This, we also have a video in-depth actually making turkey melts. You have the right not to like... Yeah, it just smells weird, Brian. I don't know why. It just does. So, I've got our mini pocket sandwich maker here. And I already know that the bread we picked out is a little bit large for this sandwich maker. But you only live once, right? So we've got our bread here. One piece of bread. This is actually kind of dried out a little bit because I left it out of the package since we turned it into a quesadilla instead of a sandwich. And these you can't make like super full in this sandwich maker, so I might make 2 like for each of us for this meal. So we're gonna do 1, 2, 3 slices of turkey. And then what kind of cheese? What kind of cheese? Now I think for this one, we'll use the new slices of cheese we got. This pepper jack cheese from Sam's Club. Again, or not from this video, but from another video. Resealable packages are great when they work. These ones are terrible. Let's get this opened up. And then we'll top it with our slice of pepper jack. And actually, I'm going to put another slice on the bottom. And the other thing about this cheese from Sam's Club is it is so crumbly. It is really hard to see that slice just broke into 3 pieces. It's really nearly impossible to get like a solid piece of their pepper jack. I don't know why. We're actually going to put a piece on the bottom too. And you probably should put butter on this thing, but I don't want to. I just want to do it this way. So now we are just going to smash that down. And we're just going to let that cook a little bit. And these, I assure you, they're simple. Normally I don't do simple, but they are going to be pretty darn tasty if you ask me. So this is the last meal. So it's going to be turkey melts. And then, Zena, what should go on the side of the turkey melts? We had bought pasta thinking that we might eat pasta with one of these meals, but I don't really think that pasta would go well with the turkey melt. Thank you to whoever just signed on. Me and Zena are meal prepping some meals. We're actually on the last day, the last meal. We're meal prepping 2 meals for 3 days for 2 people. So our last meal is just a simple turkey melt. We've got some Dave's Killer bread. We've got the 21 whole grains and seeds bread. Very delicious. Check them out. And then we have this oven roasted turkey breast, 3 slices per melt, and then 2 slices of pepper jack cheese, all 3 from Sam's Club actually. We're just deciding what we are going to do for the side item. I think that just to use it up, before we go on a camping trip, I've got some papaya. So I think we are going to do papaya and some applesauce. Applesauce is delicious. And I want to do the strawberry flavor of the Go-Go Squeeze, which is one of my favorite flavors. So we've got half of papaya here, and then Go-Go Squeeze. And it looks like I didn't get out enough containers, so I'll get 2 more. That is still super, super hot. And we're going to need to wrap these up. They're not going to fit in here. So I'll do the Go-Go Squeeze like that, and then I'll do the papaya on the side. But first, oh my gosh, that looks so freaking delicious. So good. Let's try to grab it out without melting our fingers. There's the first turkey melt. And of course, I did not have a rack to put it on. When you're cooking melts and stuff in this, what I have found is you always want to put it on a rack like this right after it's done. If you put it on a plate, it will literally turn into soggy-licious like within 20 seconds of just sitting on a plate. So you really want to have some sort of a rack to let them chillax on. So now we're just going to build the second one. Get our crumbly pepper jack, a slice of Dave's Killer, and then again we're going to do 3 slices of this turkey. And then, as Brian has correctly told us, we are going to chop. We are going to chop the papaya. So let's get this piece laid out. Do 1 more piece of the pepper jack, which, if you can see what I'm doing right here, grab the paper and kind of pull it up. That's the easiest way to get a normal good piece. Smush it down, lock it. We're going to let that get all toasty roasty and set this off to the side for right now so I can make room for our least dirty cutting board so that I can cut up our papaya. I also don't think Mr. Cameraman has ever eaten papaya before, so he is going to try out some new healthy, delicious fruits this week. So I already used half of this. I actually made, on another live stream, I made a pineapple papaya smoked chicken bowl. You definitely need to check that one out, Brian. I think that you would really enjoy that recipe. So I already used half the papaya for that, and I just want to use this up. I love the taste of papaya. Now, papaya is like super crazy soft. So it's really, I don't need a bread knife. It's almost like buttery texture, buttery feeling. And what I'm gonna do is slice it like this. Let's get this half sliced to 2. I'll turn you guys down here so you can see what I'm doing. And now what I'm gonna do is turn the slices on their sides and come through here and just cut off the edges. Did you guys know that papaya has latex in it? I don't really know what it does or for what reason, but it does. That's why the seeds taste so disgusting. Or I shouldn't say disgusting. I don't want to yuck somebody's yums. If you like papaya seeds, go for it, eat them. I, on the other hand, do not. I'm not a fan of the seeds of papaya. They have a very interesting flavor. But this is just, the texture is so interesting to me. It's like refrigerated butter. Like it's hard, but it's not hard. And it's soft, but it's not soft. Sorry if I got quiet. All of a sudden my throat got kind of itchy. We'll do a little ASMR moment while chopping this papaya. Oh my gosh, I forgot the second piece of bread! What an idiot, Luke! Ah! Brian, how could you let me do that? Oh, that's gonna be a beast to clean now. Does that mean I have too many things on my mind if I forget to put the top piece of the bread on a turkey melt? And I think instead of doing 2 turkey melts and making that, like, since they're littler, I think what I'm going to do is just to use up all those raspberries. They go bad pretty fast. I think what we'll do is just more fruit than sandwich. So we'll mix the raspberries with the papaya, and then we'll have the applesauce on the side with the turkey sandwich. So a little bit of a less filling meal, but it's to use up that fruit. And I mean, if he eats it and he's still hungry, we have healthy snacks like nuts and seeds and all sorts of other stuff. Brian, how's my chopping on this papaya? Pretty hectic, I think, but it's getting the job done. Ooh, I love the taste of papaya. It is so good. Oh, look at that. It took all the cheese off with it. And I changed my mind again. There's no way he's going to be full just eating that tiny sandwich. So we're going to go ahead and do 2 of these sandwiches. So let's take out 4 more pieces of bread. And then the other thing is that uses up more of the bread. I'm probably going to eat more than this during this 3 days because I do eat breakfast actually every once in a while. So at least it uses up most of the bread. And then if I decide to eat breakfast throughout the week, I can use up the rest of the loaf because there's not very much left. So let's get 3 more pieces of turkey. And then with these, I actually, when I cook them, I might pop them in the toaster oven instead of the microwave. Just to, or I can put them in the air fryer actually, or the Ninja Speedy just for a little bit on air fry, just to kind of reinvigorate the crisp. And again, that's why you put it on a rack to seal in that crispiness. And do not forget the other piece of bread, Luke. The top of this does get really hot though, so if you're sensitive to heat, you need something on top of that before you press it down. So we've got our papaya here. We're going to move our applesauce, strawberry applesauce, to the small side. And in the big one, we are going to fit all of our papaya and our raspberries. So each one of us will be eating a quarter of a papaya. Which, realistically, it's doubtful that he's going to finish that. He likes fruit, but he doesn't really eat it. So if he eats like half of this, I'll be happy. So we've got the papaya split up. Now we can get rid of this cutting board. After this, I'm going to have tons of dishes to do. Not excited for that. Then we'll do the rest of the raspberries. Like I said, raspberries go bad pretty fast. So you want to definitely, I would not have, if I would have left these in the fridge past these 3 days, they almost certainly would have gone bad. The granola might go good with the fruit. Let's do that. Let's put the, well, actually, I have older granola. Yeah, let's do this. Instead of the applesauce, we're going to do granola on the side of the fruit. I think that that will be a tasty addition. This is dark chocolate strawberry granola. I think that will be really good. We can kind of just, once we're ready, we can just like mix the fruit with the granola. That's a healthy side. And then we'll just eat these for breakfast one day. Pop these in the fridge after I check on this. Mr. Cameraman must be going on a super long bike ride today. He has been gone since like 8 a.m. Let's put these back in the fridge and all the other fridge stuff away. The other thing you have to watch out for when you're meal prepping is I think that this can be a really easy thing to do. It's to buy way too much food. Perishable items. Cheese, obviously you can freeze. Turkey breast, like deli turkey, is a little bit harder to freeze. The texture changes. Some cheeses do change textures when they freeze also. Bread's an easy one to freeze. I always freeze bread. But you just want to make sure, if that is your plan, that you do actually have room in the freezer for all of the surplus or all of the extra food that you will be freezing. Because meal prepping, sure, it can help you for a couple days, but it really, it can be easier, I think, to waste food if you're cooking like this. So just try not to do that. Because my thinking is you buy all this food to meal prep, and then you tell yourself, well, I should only eat what I prepped. I should only eat what's in the bowl. Well, then what do you do with all the rest of the food? I mean, all the rest of the turkey, all the rest of the bread, all the rest of the nuts, all the rest of the cheese. So I really don't like to get into that mindset of I am only going to allow myself to eat what is in this bowl, but it is going to just be kind of a fun little experiment, I guess. Like I said, I've meal prepped before. I've actually meal prepped for way longer than this before. I've done it once where I think I did like 2 weeks, and literally Mr. Cameraman like hated most of the meals, so I never meal prepped again after that. Put our nut basket away. Put the bread away. And yes, I store my bread in the refrigerator. Don't come at me. And then these I'm going to wrap up in plastic. That's the other thing I'm not in love with about meal prepping, is it does use a lot of plastic. Unless, as I said, you have like perfectly sized Tupperwares for any possible meal you could cook. So I'm gonna leave this out because I'm gonna have to clean this cheese covered monstrosity here in a minute. Let's wrap up this cheese. Cleaning up as you go, depending on, I guess, what kind of person you are, or how you like your area to be, might be more helpful. It might look more helpful, I guess, but like I said, it would literally, like if I actually washed the dishes, like in between each meal, it would take me like 4 or 5 times the amount of time it just took me to make these 3 days worth of food. So, let's get these wrapped up and then we are done-y. We've got all of our meals prepped. And Xena has just been chilling over there the whole time. We're on a YouTube live meal prepping. Mr. Cameraman just got home. You want to go see him? Go get him. Go get him. And then, like I said, I am going to be air frying these once we eat them to give them the crispiness back. And there is our simple but delicious turkey melt. Now we'll get these two wrapped up. And there we go. We are all finished. Let me just run through with you guys what we prepped, just in case you want any meal prep inspo. So I meal prepped 3 days, 2 meals, 2 people. So the one we just finished are our simple turkey melts with fruit and granola. Then we have our ginormous turkey sandwiches with raspberries and applesauce. Spicy ranch smoked chicken quesadillas with a little snackuterie on the side of spicy nuts, granola bars, and fruit snacks. Loaded potato soup with some extra mozzarella and Parmesan. And on the side, we will be eating these with protein chicken chips and cilantro lime tortilla chips. Mini Mexican burritos, black pepper air fried green beans, and harvest snaps. And cilantro lime chicken with turmeric rice and cantaloupe. So, if you liked this super long 122-minute live stream, make sure to give us a big thumbs up. Definitely, after it's like posted on YouTube, comment down below and subscribe to our channel. Don't forget to hit that bell so that you see the next time me and Zena upload a new video. Get out and enjoy what God has given us, and get out and enjoy nature and food as much as we do. Have a great one, and see you later, Brian.